Hi everybody, welcome to the Saturday drill class for November 14th for Ottawa Swordplay. Today we're going to be working mostly on techniques where we are moving from the bind to the other side of the sword. So things like change-throughs and stuff like that. If you are doing this class either in person or following on the YouTube thing, if you have something that you can use as your opponent's imaginary sword, it will be very helpful. It's not necessary, we can still do the techniques without, but it is more useful to have something. Of course, as always, we're going to start with some of our foundation exercises. So feet shoulder width apart, weight on the balls of your feet, and we're going to rotate to the left, and then we're going to do foot rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and we're going to do the thumb grip flip. So holding the sword in the handshake grip, I'm going to flip up into the thumb grip and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to switch to the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then we're going to do the windshield wiper one, and today we are going to switch from the long grip to half swording when we're doing this with the right hand or with your dominant hand if you're left-handed. So we're going to start with the sword point to the outside, rotate inside into half swording, and back out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just a reminder, if you're doing that somewhere where you're not in danger of breaking something with your sword, that's a good one to do with your eyes closed and get used to knowing where your sword is without looking at it. All right, on the other hand, we're going to just do the windshield wiper, keeping our spare hand out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, good. And we're going to do the Zucken one because that is going to be one of the techniques we're working on later today. So for this one, I got my feet even with the sword in the middle in front of me, like so. I'm going to pull it back to my left hip, forward, back to my right hip, and forward. And the whole time I'm doing this, my arms are extended and springy. I'm not bending like a T-Rex. All right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know why I went to 12 that time, but lost in my own thoughts. All right, so the last one we're going to do is the one for our rotator cuff. So for this one, we're going to keep the sword parallel to the floor, upper arm parallel to the floor, and rotate down and back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and for my right side, I might switch to the variant one. We'll see my shoulder is still recovering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that's it for our foundation techniques. And everything that we're doing today theoretically feeds off either doing it Zornhau or having somebody do it Zornhau to us. So we are going to start with our Zornhau as a technique, but later on we're just going to do things straight from the bind. If it is more useful when you're practicing these on your own to put in the Zornhau and then move to the next technique from there, please do that. It is a fairly natural state for things. But remember, when you're fighting, you want to know what to do from where you are and not have it depend on how you got there, because the same techniques work in that situation, even if you did a different technique to get to that place. Anyway, as I said, we're going to start with the Zornhau. We're going to do it slowly in steps, but we're not going to build it up in pieces. So left foot forward, sword at the right shoulder, unless you're left-handed, and we're going to do the extension, rotate the feet, step, and then shoot long into the thumb and reset. So that's how we'll go, and we will do 10 of those. So extend, rotate, step, shoot long, reset, 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 extend, rotate, step, shoot long. That's 5. Extend, rotate, step, shoot long, reset, extend, rotate, step, shoot long. 3 more. Extend, rotate, step, shoot long, reset, extend, rotate, step, shoot long. And last one, extend, rotate, step, shoot long. All right, so that's our Zornhau. And we did put in the shooting the point long, which is often included automatically with the Zornhau. Some of these techniques, you don't have to have done that. I prefer most of them having gone into the thumb grip, and I'll talk about that with each one as we go. And when we come to the bind, we have a number of options for where we go from here. And which one we choose depends on a lot of things, but one of the biggest factors is what is the other person doing? Now, unfortunately, this spear stuck in a milk crate doesn't do anything, so I have to pretend, and you kind of have to imagine with all of these, but I will talk about that for each thing that we're looking at. And we may have to vary our distance to make some of them work. So if I've come to the bind and I've shot my point long, and I'm going to keep this pointed more or less straight at my face so that if I walk forward, I'm stabbing myself on the spear. The hardest amount of pressure when I come to the bind is that somebody's pushing hard at my sword, and maybe they're even stepping in or gathering in towards me, so they're closing the distance. And if that is happening, I'm almost always going to do some variation on going through with the pommel. So if they're pushing hard, I'm going to bring that pommel forward. I need to make sure that their point misses me as I do that, but if they're pushing hard, they might do it on their own. I'm going to rotate my feet, and I'm going to step in. All right? And we're just going to do 6 of that with nothing else. So from the bind, pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, and that's 1. Pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, reset, pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, that's 3. Pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, 2 more, pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, last one, pommel forward, rotate the feet, step. All right, now, the next 2 that we're going to do are similar circumstances, and they're 2 of my favorite favorite techniques at the exact moment because I'm talking about them. But we're going to talk about grappling a little bit, and this is where having something to grapple, even if it's just a spear, is helpful. Now, these techniques, when we do them, we would normally be grappling our opponent's arms. And these are variations of the going through wrestling techniques that we see with the longsword, but they're specifically arm grapples, and these ones are favored in the Sword and Buckler manuscript, the Valparaiso spec book. But the idea here is, I start out the same, the person is coming fairly close, and I'm going to actually start at fairly close distance for this. My pommel goes forward, I rotate I step in, and for this one, I'm going to let go of the pommel and reach over their arms. And then I'm going to take a second step so that I'm turning to stand beside them. And that's a triangle step. And I'm wrapping my arms around their arms, tucking my elbow to my side, and hand flat against my chest. All right? So this is kind of an arm envelopment. So from the bind, we'll do, I'm going to say 5 of this one. Pommel forward, rotate, step, reach, next step, and grapple. Reset. Pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, reach, grapple, next step. Pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, reach, grapple, step. The final grapple and last step kind of happen simultaneously, just to be clear. Pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, reach, grapple, and step. One more. Pommel forward, rotate the feet, step, reach, grapple, and step. All right. So the other variation is to do a grapple with the other arm, and in this case, I'm going to continue facing in the same direction that I'm going. Circumstances are pretty similar, and it's mostly just a personal preference, although circumstances may make one slightly better than the other. So again, they're pushing hard and closing. I'm going to bring my pommel forward, rotate my feet, step in. This time I'm going to let go with my right hand, my upper hand, and reach over, and then I'm going to grapple, and I'm going to take a passing step in. And again, elbow tight to my side, hand flat against my side. All right, so from the bind, we'll do 5. Pommel, rotate, step, reach, grapple, and step. Reset. Pommel, rotate, step, reach, grapple, and step. Reset. Pommel, rotate, step, reach, grapple, and step. 2 more. Pommel, rotate, step, reach, grapple, and step. Last one. Pommel, rotate, step, reach, grapple, and step. All right, so I really do like the arm grapples. They can be turned into takedowns. They can be used for other kinds of wrestling. I think the arm grapples are actually safer than a takedown because your opponent isn't falling down and flailing around at you with their sword. Their arms are controlled. Your mileage may vary. All right, so the other things that we do when we go through with the pommel are mostly using the sword, and we're going to do 2 kinds of cuts to the other side. The first one is the Schnappen to the head. So for this, I'm in the thumb grip, generally speaking. I really prefer to do this one in the thumb grip. And again, I'm putting that pressure on, but maybe their distance is a bit further. So my pommel goes forward, I rotate, and I step, and I can't reach them with the pommel, and I can't grapple their arms. So for this one, I'm going to drive that pommel down to snap the sword around, and I'm going to take a triangle step a little bit out of the way to turn my body and also make it easier to clear their sword. So that triangle step will be part of the snap. Again, it happens kind of at the same time. All right, so from the bind, pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. Make sure you're keeping your hands low. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. That's 2. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. And that's 3. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. We are going to go to 10 with this one. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. So halfway. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. Reset. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. 3 more. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. 2 more. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. And last one. Pommel forward, rotate, step, snap. All right. So The other option that we have is to attack the hands or the wrists. And I do like this one. If I have not gone into the thumb grip and I'm going through and cutting, I will almost always go for the arms. I prefer it from there, but I can also do this from the thumb grip. So this one works either way. Today we're going to do this one not from the thumb grip, just because everything else so far has been from the thumb grip. So I've come to the bind. I haven't shot the point long. They're putting pressure on. So, pommel, step, and I don't need to rotate my hips because I'm going to step a little bit wide on this one. So I don't really need to change my angle. And then I'm going to bring the sword around with that triangle step and cut to their arms, which of course, in this case, is the spear haft. All right, so 10 of these from the bind. Pommel, step, reset, pommel, step, cut, 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 3 more, pommel, step, cut, reset, pommel, step, cut, last one, pommel, step, cut. All right. There are tons of other things you can do after going through with the pommel. In every instance, I believe very strongly that it is important to clear your pathway by leading with the pommel. If I simply pull my sword away and try to cut the other side, I'm going to get hit midway through. All right, so those are kind of our highest level of pressure that the person's going to put on our sword. Well, what if they're putting some pressure, but maybe not that much? If the person's pushing my sword a little bit, say their sword is pointed above my right shoulder here, if I try and go through, they might be able to do an outside winding and follow me and hit me on the way in. So I want to do something that gets me faster to the other side and more safely. So we're going to do the change through. We do this one a lot, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but from the bind here, I'm going to lift the pommel so that my sword tip comes down underneath theirs. I'm going to come back, rotate, and step in. And again, we can do this in the thumb grip or not. I find it easier in the thumb grip, but today I'm going to do it not. Up to you which way you want to go. So we're going to do 10 of these. So from the bind, lift the pommel, engage, rotate the feet, step it. Reset, lift the pommel, engage, rotate, step. 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 That's 5. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, step. Reset. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, step. Reset. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, step. 2 more. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, step. Last one. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, step. All right. Now, there is a variant to the change through. This is highlighted in Codex Wallerstein, and the more I look at it, the more I like it. So for this, we're going to do the change through, but we're going to switch into half sorting when we move through to the other side. And I should mention, we can change through back and forth from either side. When we're changing through to half sorting, it really only works from, if you're right-handed, from being in left flute to being in right half sword. So the idea of this is the same though, but maybe we're a little bit closer to the person. And maybe they like using their point a lot, and we want to get past their point quickly. So by doing a change through here, I'm not past their point, but if I lift my pommel, engage, switch to half swording, and step past their point, I'm past their biggest threat. All right? So, lift the pommel, engage, rotate, switch to half sword. All right? Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, half sword. 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 That's 5. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, half sword. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, half sword. 3 more. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, half sword. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, half sword. Last one. Lift the pommel, engage, rotate, half sword. Something I didn't mention, by the way, when you're doing this, it's important to reach past your opponent's weapon and grab your blade up here. If I'm grabbing it here below their sword, they're going to slice into my hands. Here, they're going to slice into my crosshair. All right, so a technique that we don't do very often is the Zucken. And Zucken means shrugging or twitching. We often call this the pulling, and it is that kind of back and forth motion. And we did our foundation action based on this. In our sources, when you look at some of them, like the armored combat ones, they use Zucken and Changethrough interchangeably, and the two techniques can support each other. However, they are different, and it's important to know that difference. Now, when we do the Zucken, it works best when we are crossed near our own point, because we're pulling the sword straight back, and if I'm crossed way up here, it takes too long to pull back there. There's a number of circumstances where that can happen that are hard to show without a training partner, but just know we're going to cross here. And then with my left hand, I'm going to pull back towards my left hip, but I'm keeping pressure, springy pressure forward in my right hand. So if you think of an old pinball machine, it's like I'm pulling back that launcher, and then if I let go, my arm wants to spring forward automatically. And I don't actually let go of my sword, but I let the pull, I let go of the pressure of the pull, and then I follow in with a rotation and a step. All right? So from the bind, it's pull, release, rotate, step. All right? We're going to do pull, release, rotate, step. Reset. 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 Pull, release, rotate, step. 3 more. Pull, release, rotate, step. 2 more. Pull, release, rotate, step. Last one. Pull, release, rotate, step. All right. So that was the Zucken. There is a version of the Zucken where we start to do the Zucken, but if their blade moves, we then just extend back along their blade, but that's not what we're doing today. So we're now going to look at the let no changer come before your sword. So this is what we do when they put the absolute least amount of pressure on our blade. There's still a few other options that we're passing over in the interest of time, but the least amount of pressure that they can put on my blade is to move their sword away. And if they're moving their sword away usefully, they're moving it away to come back to this side. So to set this one up, we're going to assume that they have done their change through. And to pick that up, I'm going to lift my pommel, just like I did when I'm doing the change through, but I'm doing that circle around to pick it up and extending with the stab. But I'm going to throw in the footwork with this. Don't always need it, but today we're going to do it. So I'm going to lift my pommel. I'm going to step to the left with my left foot. So the first step of a gather. I'm going to circle and then step forward with my right foot. All right? So lift, left foot, circle, right foot. All right, 9 more of those. Lift, left, circle, right. Reset. Lift, left, circle, right. Reset. Lift, left, circle, right. Reset. Lift, left, circle, right. Reset, that's 5. Lift, left, circle, right. Reset. Lift, left, circle, right. Reset. 3 more. Lift, left, circle, right. 2 more. Lift, left, circle, right. Last one. Lift, left, circle, right. So there are a variety of techniques that we can use for moving from one side of the sword to the other. Our choice of which one to use depends a lot on the pressure, but it's also good to have a specific repertoire of ones that you like and are able to do well. You don't actually have to be good at all of those techniques, as long as you have enough that you can do well to get you through most of the situations you're going to encounter. Incidentally, that last technique, while it is not perfect against everything that somebody might use to move around our sword, it can work against everything somebody might do. So for me, that's the one to practice the most. That's it for today. I hope that that was a useful class, and I hope to see you next week.